Righto, everybody, here we go. We're going to have a look in this Aussie bloke shed. We'll see what's inside. Come on in with me. Well, here we are. We're inside now. We're going to have a good look around in here. There's a lot of stuff in an Aussie bloke shed, I can tell you that. An accumulation of a lifetime of gear. Now, this is a pretty big shed here. It's got a bit of gear in it. My car is in there as well. And we sort of have been packing up a lot of gear because we're going to sell up and move up to sunny Queensland. But in the meantime, we've got a lot of gear. Most of the stuff here for car cleaning and car maintenance. Bit of a rack here for other gear that we go camping with, take with our caravan. On the old table here, we've got plenty of tools and all sorts of gear. Some that I take away, some that I just use for maintenance around the house. And yeah, come over here, we'll have a look at this pile of gear that we're probably going to sell in a garage sale out the front. One thing I'd like to show you is this board here. When the Formula One Grand Prix used to be in Adelaide, they made up this bit of a promotional thing from 1988. It's got a picture of the track. It's just been up in my shed line up here for years. Don't know if it's worth anything. Maybe I'll sell it one day. But I'll pan around over here and you'll see the pile of gear that we are going to be taking up to Queensland with us. Fair bit of gear there. Father-in-law, he's coming with us. That's his bike. Yeah, we got lots of boxes and all sorts of stuff there. Anyway, I'll come around here and we'll have a look at my mower. Righto, here she is. This mower has been with me for many years. Bought it off a mate who does this thing professionally, and he's since moved on to bigger and better mowers. But this was his first one, so I've got it now. And yeah, it's been a pearler. Great for doing my block because we live on 5 acres. So you need sort of something handy to get around here. And yeah, she's pretty old now, but does the job. Yeah, I think it works a treat. And I really love riding around on the mower. It's quite relaxing actually, even though it makes a noise. I have to wear the old earmuffs. But yeah, carrying on. Come over here, my old wheelbarrow. Now this trailer here, I'd like to show you. This is quite old. This belonged to my father. He bought it in 1978. If I come down here, you can see the actual date on there of August 78. That's when he bought it, and he had some land up in the Adelaide Hills, growing chestnut trees and cherry trees, and he used to have a little tank on it, and we'd pull it round behind his ute and water the trees when they were young. And yeah, so it's been in the family for quite a few years now, and I still use it. It does a great job. Got a bit of junk on there I'm going to take to the dump, but yeah. Right, now I'll come and show you up the back part of the shed here. Now you may have noticed that over time I have actually extended this shed. It was a 50 foot by 30 foot wide shed, and I extended it by another 30 by 30, mainly because I wanted to build this room up in here, which I'll show you in a little while. And when we come around the back side here, a few more things stored here. I usually keep a bit of paint and things in that cupboard. But this here, this is actually a toilet. It's just got a little sink in there, little toilet, bit of a cupboard there with a few bits and pieces I keep in there. But that's handy for when you're working up in the shed and doing other stuff, as I'll show you in a minute. And then we come around here, and this is sort of the back end of the shed. Still a few bits and pieces here stored that we'll either take with us or get rid of. An old bed there. I keep my lawnmower and whippersnipper, hedge trimmer up here. That's battery operated, those two things, but we've got the petrol lawnmower. That cable there runs out. I've got a little pump which pumps water from a little tank outside the shed into the toilet. Got a few trolleys here. I don't know how I ended up with this many, but anyway, I have. And then coming around the backside here is just basically where I store ladders, and there's an old mattress there, there's an old roof rack, some sheeting. And then over here underneath all this gear is stuff that we use when we, myself and the boys get together. We've got a bit of a band, and so we've got a lot of speakers and gear that we take with us. Now, if we come around here, I'll show you the surprise room that, how many people, well, there's actually 2 rooms if you like it. I've built a recording studio up here, and I've got a live room and a control room. So we'll go into the control room first. Mighty muscle car, good old Aussie Falcon GT Phase 3. We'll come into the room here and we will have a look. Righto, we'll just come into this control room here, and you'll see a few cases with a bit of gear, even a violin there. And this is where I do a bit of editing and mastering and mixing songs. I've got an Apple computer there, got a Zoom L20 recording desk, which also can be used in live gigs. Got a patch bay there coming through the wall, and then of course I've got a couple of monitor speakers there, so I can do a bit of mixing with that. And then of course a window into the live room. I'll take you in there now. Okay, now we're going to go into the live room. We'll have a look at that, people. Got a bit of stuff up on the walls there for a bit of soundproofing, things like that. You see a bass strap over there in the corner. I've got one in each corner. Here we've got gear that belongs to me, belongs to the band members, some belongs to all of us. So we've got bass player's gear here. He's set up and he's got his Roland amp there, which he can hook in through his Marshall cab. Here we've got a lovely little Fender Mustang amp. I'll tell you, these things are pretty cool. They're only solid state, but they can pump out a good sound, and they've got excellent effects on them. As we spin around back here, you can see I've got a couple more guitars there. We've got some amps here. Now these 2 here are Jade Soundmasters, made here in Australia, I believe, and they are old as the hills. That big one, the big whole full cab, I bought that back in 1975. The top one I bought probably about 15 years ago from a cash converters, and I can plug that into a cab, which I do with this generic cab down the bottom. Now you spin around here, you'll see the old control room there. Now this is a little Vox that I've got here. It's a Valvetronics, a 40 watt, but it will go up to 60, and you know, she's cool. She makes good sound. She's got mixture of valves and solid state. Great little amp. Little mini Yamaha there that was given to me as a birthday present from a dear old mate that's now passed away. Under here I've got a Marshall 1960A cab and a JCM TSL 100 head, which is not working at the moment. Keeps blowing fuses, so I've got to get that fixed, but I've got it covered up now. A couple of guitars, a 12-string there, belongs to my son. 6-string there. In actual fact, I think the drummer owns that one. And I've got a couple of my guitars. I've got a Fender Tele, and I've got this Telecaster, which is a generic brand, but good little guitar. It's got humbuckers on it. And here we got our PA mixer, keyboard there, running around to other amps. We've got mics. The drummer's got a nice TD20 roll and drum kit there, and there's also a keyboard here which our keyboard player uses. So this little room, you might be surprised to some that it's in the shed, but you never know what's in somebody's shed. Main reason I built this room was because we used to practice out in the main shed before I extended it. And unfortunately, even though we're on 5-acre blocks, when you're having a 12, 14-hour music session in the shed, one of the neighbours didn't really appreciate it, so we had to sort of tone it down. So I built this extension. Now I've got this room and we can play till all hours of the morning if we want to. and we really don't disturb anybody. So yeah, there's more guitars usually hanging up and a banjo and things, but I've got them packed away. We had a gig back in March and a lot of that stuff just hasn't been unpacked yet, but we've got enough here to keep going. So yeah, so I'll take you back out now. Right, so there's the outside of the room. Got it fully insulated on top. Does the job for us up here in the shed because there's plenty of power points in there. The outside here, well, nothing much to say about that. I think it's an old acoustic drum kit up the top there. But yeah, this is why I extended the shed. You can sort of see looking back from this area where the opening is for the shed. And yeah, so that's pretty much what's in an Aussie bloke shed. Well, so yeah, if you like that, give us a like or a thumbs up, maybe even subscribe. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments there. I'll get on to you. And anything else you want to see or ask me about, go right ahead. Anyway, thanks very much everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bit of a look in an Aussie bloke shed, and we'll see you on the next video. I'll pop a few photos of the outside of the shed onto the video for you so you can see the size of it and what it looks like from the outside. Anyway, thanks very much for watching.